Well, it looks like we are right now above up in the skies. Yeah, to actually, hopefully we're gonna visit to Rainbow Dash's, Wonderbolt Academy. Nah, just kidding, there's no such thing. Hey everybody, this is me, Sylvester here, and I'm Chip here. We are back for the Maxi Toys. Welcome back to my Let's Play of New Super Mario Bros. U for the Nintendo Wii U. So last time that we actually did manage to conclude Rock Candy Mines, and today for this episode, we're about to actually move on to the 7th world, which is called Meringue Clouds. And much like how it does in World 7 from New Super Mario Bros. Wii and New Super Mario Bros. On the DS, and World 5 from New Super Mario Bros. 2, that this takes place in the sky. So, here we are on to the first level in Meringue Clouds, such as Meringue Clouds-1, Land of Flying Blocks. So as far as when this level suggests, that we might actually encounter some of these, a whole bunch of stack of blocks, as we can probably tell for this point. So yeah, let's get started then into Meringue Clouds. So yeah, it has been quite a few days since we actually just continued through this game. It's probably because of, even though this was originally uploaded yesterday on Monday, but we actually have decided that we decided to let that, have a slightly bit of a delay to actually just, that since this was going to be uploaded today on Tuesday the 18th of October, so even then though, that since we got quite a few videos left from New Super Mario Bros. U, we even know after New Super Mario Bros. U, and we pretty much guaranteed that you probably expected what the last entry of the New Super Mario Bros. Marathon for this year will probably be the remade playthrough on New Super Luigi U, so that'll be fine as far as the result. So yeah, as far as you guys can tell, that the level starts to get really much challenging and difficult later on, as you guys can tell already. But even then though, I don't find the this world to be that hard though. But anyway though, so the first star coin, you need to use the Flying Squirrel Mario, and then the second star coin is pretty easy to spot, and then the third and final star coin, you need to be Super Mario formation. And how do we know? Well, we'll soon actually get into that in just a moment. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get ourselves a checkpoint, in this case midway point, if I like to say so for myself, and eventually we can get ourselves some the acorn mushroom, so that just in case from extra protection stuff. So even though that might be coming really handy as far as we can notice. So yeah, you get the idea. So yeah, again that yeah, as I mentioned earlier, that the third and final star coin, you need to use the Super Mario formation or the alteration, the what power up that Mario achieved, but except Mini Mario and Small Mario, because they do not actually do a proper ground pound to break those sets of brick blocks. So the only power up who can do that is easily Super Mario form, even the other power ups as a result too. So yeah, that's all I can say about this level right here. So basically we have to ride on this one giant cloud platform that will occasionally just shift to the right. So even then though, that once you actually progress through each of the level, then you should able to find yourself a well, just some star coins and as well as some bunch of enemies that you have to dodge with. So pardon you, Phoebe. Huh. Nonetheless though. Alright, so let's go ahead and grind ourselves some power-ups right here, specifically fire flowers for me, fire flowers. But even then though, we're gonna have to get just only 2 of them, and plus we need to look out for a Toad icon rather than the Bowser icon, because if we somehow grabbed it by a complete accident, this means we won't able to actually get ourselves some fire flowers during time. But there we go then. 2 fire flowers added now into our inventory. Yeah, which is pretty nice. And speaking of October though, that due to the fact that we're pretty much almost there to the end of October, as well as in that though, and we'll talk more into these things later, but for now, let us move on to the next level in Meringue Clouds, Meringue Clouds-2 Seesaw Shrooms. In this level's gimmick that we actually have to deal with is the Seesaw Shroom platforms. And every time when you tilt it from the far left, the seesaw will tilt it from the left. And then if you tilt it from the far right, this means it'll go to the right, and then vice versa, basically. And then in this level, we actually feature Yoshi. So, hope you actually see Yoshi again, ever since Rock Candy Mines-1, which was Fuzzy Cliff Top. But even then though, as far as this level suggests, that you always have to be using Yoshi for this level, as far as I'm concerned. Oh no, you idiot Paragoombas. You know what, that's it. We're just gonna actually just trying to hurt you, that's all we can do. But I digress. So, yeah, as far as this level suggests that we actually have to use the seesaw shrooms to actually progress in each of the level as far as we can notice. And this level's kind of feels a bit too similar to Fuzzy Cliffside, like you still have some fuzzies to deal with. Although there's not to mention there's going to be a lot of tricky platforming, which we'll get into in just a moment until we actually get ourselves the second star coin, where we need to use the Lakitu cloud in order to actually get up. But usually for the star coins department, it kind of feels a bit similar to how it does in Fuzzy Clifftop. That's the only reason that makes this level too similar to the previous level in Rock Candy Mines as far as star coin locations is concerned. And also using Yoshi to actually just to take advantage of trying to actually time your jumps and whatnot to actually just jump onto these fuzzies. Which the one we need to actually get into, the third and final star coin anyway, is the fact that you need to actually hop onto this green pipe you go. It just goes to the top. You can either just do it like that, or you can do it as like our alteration, even though we didn't do it on footage, as you can tell. Then you can actually hop off Yoshi, and then you just go ahead and grab it. So, yeah, pretty self-explanatory, kind of think about it. But it's just the fact that the only tricky part, although we still have some stretchy shrooms make a return since New Super Mario Bros. 2, and they behave exactly like how it does in New Super Mario Bros. 2 was. So, I digress. It's a shame that we can't take Yoshi anywhere else, unfortunately, but tough luck. Anyway, though, so now we move on to the third level in Meringue Clouds, which I'm assuming that we're gonna have ourselves a different gimmick, but we'll jump into that as soon as we actually get into it right now. Meringue Clouds -3, Switchback Hill, which, from what I've noticed in this level right here, that we're actually going to be hop into these weird platforms, which actually indicates the arrows shown where the direction they were going. So yeah, that's how the level gimmick works, and also some bunch of bullet bills every once in a while. So even then though, that we're going to have to mostly be very cautious and just be pretty well time your jumps and whatnot with those platforms anyway, including bullet bills as well. So yeah, in case if you or didn't already notice the fact that you remember how in the USA countries, most likely Sonic Mania Collector's Edition, originally they were trying to set up the Sonic Mania Collector's Edition will be USA exclusive. And turns out it wasn't, because recently we did look up on Sonic Stadium recently, which is essentially Sonic Stadium as a website to actually check up some more news and updates from the Sonic related stuff, especially in the future standpoint. That recently they actually showed showcase quite a few number of Sonic characters will be confirmed in Lego Dimensions from Sonic level pack, which will have to be Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow, and for some reason Big the Cat, which I don't know why he was there, but that's just pretty obvious that how he, for some reason he actually put that in. So yeah, anyway. So the third and final star coin, you need to keep your power block with you, so just in case if you actually just about to actually trying to actually oh shoot. That was kind of my fault there. That was definitely my fault. So that being said, let's go kill ourselves. Even though that much like it does in the previous worlds ago, except Rock Candy Mines, this means we have to die like always every time. We always die just once in each world. That's like looks like 7 worlds at this point. Oh yeah, sorry for the bit of a lag going on. That's what always happens to my computer at the moment, because it constantly jinx out every once in a while. But yeah, we really do apologize for that, folks. But anyway, I kind of wish I could just fix it, that issue, to actually just let this you know, jinx it, or in this case junky frame rate will be gone forever. But that's not the case in recording setup, which that will have to be deal for that, unfortunately. So the third and final star coin, you need to use the power block for this in order to actually make this star coin appear. Yeah, as you can see, we did this easiest methods by actually jumping onto the bullet bills until you actually reach up to actually, you know, grab yourselves a third and final star coin. But for normal casualties, is the fact that they'll just have to wait until when the platform was shifted to the right, until when the star coin will immediately trying to get into the wall shifting department. So yeah, this course is so stupid. So Nintendo, are you happy now? I don't know about you, but anyway, Meringue Clouds Tower, slide, what is it called? Slide, lift, tower. So in this case, in this level, that we actually have to deal with the sliding platforms, as you can see, alongside with the hammer bro at the very start of the level, which is kind of odd. But I digress. So the first star coin in this level that we need to use to flying squirrel Mario, and basically the rest of the star coins we're about to be getting into, we'll probably save it up for later. But for now, let's just go ahead and do not get hit by this bunch of fire bros, because in this particular first section, you always have to recommend you have to dodge every single fire bros. They're just trying to chuck the fireball at you, just in case you don't accidentally lose your power up temporarily, especially the likes of if you think you're quite close to the end. In this case, we found ourselves a third star coin up there. We have to just bust out these brick blocks, and that's it. And the second and third and final star coin will have to be in the different areas that we need to head into. So yeah. So yeah, back into what we were saying about the Sonic Mania Collector's Edition, that it was about to be released on the USA originally. It turns out that it was actually going to be released in UK sometime, which is pretty cool by the look of it. Yeah, which I'm really looking forward until Sonic Mania, until that comes out. Most likely, I don't know when that will be released on, but I'm assuming it'll be on Q2, most likely be in the second quarter of the year, in this case 2017. So, I digress. And also keep that in mind, speaking of Collector's Edition, is that Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue also has a Collector's Edition. But just like in 2.5 remakes, all it gets is just basically a pin. Or in this case, a pin image. Which is kind of lame, but honestly, that's how we could actually just get. This is how basic as we can get. Especially the Collector's Edition is concerned. But, yeah, that's all I can notice there. So, I think that's about it for the most part when it comes to discussing some stuff. Besides the point that how, you know, as far as we can actually just notice by now, but even then though, that we'll just have to, like, more likely, I don't know. So anyway, another thing we like to talk about is that we actually got quite a few items from, the previous days. Like, around the same time as when we were 19 years old right now. Which consist of Paper Mario Color Splash, The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD, and Zootropolis as a DVD, or in this case Zootopia if you lived in North America. Well, some people usually prefer calling it Zootopia, but anyway. So, we have ourselves a different fight this time around in a tower level, specifically in this tower level, rather than just actually dealing with the 7th incarnation of Boom Boom. Instead, you are now going to fight against with Kamek. And he behaves exactly like how he does in New Super Mario Bros. Wii version, but except the noticeable difference is the fact that he doesn't actually create a shifting block moving scenario. All he gets is basically a standstill blocks position, so that's all as basic as you can get. And then once you're actually trying to attack him, he'll actually try to send down these projectiles at you, or in this case these little, you know, this blue platform that we actually ride it on right now. That's how we essentially gonna fight him, and in this case you actually have to dodge those bright pink projectiles, because if you manage to dodge those, and if you manage to let this pink little spell will actually just touch the ground, this means it'll temporarily transform into its donut lifts. So don't stand on those things for too long, because I always assume we'll end up falling off the entire arena. And plus, you have to, as a result, you're gonna have to get these 2 star coins again. So just to let you guys know. So it's pretty easy though for the most part, especially with the flying scroll power-ups equipped. And even then though, it might be kind of tricky at first glance. So there we go, that concludes the tower level of Meringue Clouds. I think this is actually the final tower level in the game, most likely the last tower level in the entire game itself. So this means that we're pretty much done with the tower levels. And speaking of the last thing we need to do, is the fact that we're going to be chasing Nabbit for the 7th and the final time we're going to be dealing with, and he was actually located in Seesaw Shrooms. The reason why we say this is the last Nabbit chase sequence we're about to be doing right now is because there are 7 Nabbit chase sequences in total, so this is actually the last one. So I'm assuming Seesaw Shrooms will have to be one of the hardest of the bunch, just because there's going to be a plenty of emphasis on enemy dodging and stuff. But if you actually use the superstar Starman on you, it basically just gets a cheat on you. But or in this case, you could basically beat these chase sequence a total breeze. And there we go, folks. We got every single Nabbit in every single world. We'll talk more into these little methods, or in this case notification completion list, after where we actually complete the main game first. Or in this case 100% it first. So anyway, now we move on to Meringue Cloud's Ghost House, Spinning Spirit House. And believe it or not, this is actually the final Ghost House level we're about to be entering in this game. So, yeah, believe it or not though, this is actually the probably the most, of all the Ghost House levels we actually been into, I found this level kind of feels a bit confusing for me. Because basically, for example, that you're actually going to be encountering a bunch of doors, excluding the other ones from, you can actually find them from the hidden from the wall. But even then though, that it might be a possibility of how, you can actually double check on certain stuff. Mainly due to the fact that they always put in you some traps and etc. So, yeah. So, yeah, there's not a lot of things to say about this this point in time, folks. It's basically that we got a whole bunch of things we actually got right now, as well as some bunch of stuff that are about to be revealed at some point or another until during 2017, or most likely Sonic in Lego Dimensions. Like, they actually put in some new characters. I don't know if they actually become playable, or in this case, NPCs, which we'll just have to find out as soon as Sonic level pack will actually come out. So, yeah. Oh, great. So, anyway. So, again, not much else to say, but, basically, that's besides the point. So, unless besides though, that My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 6 will be almost over in at very least the last of the final 2 episodes, at least in USA countries. Luckily though, for some reason, that it always put in the finale as a spoiler alert from Tiny Pop though, however. Which, I don't know why, because even though we actually saw that first, but then afterwards that, after the episode was over, most likely these 2 parts, for some reason, it goes in an odd order, like, more likely top belt, it had to be the last episode in the entire UK version of the MLP FIM episodes. Or this goes Season 6 anyway. So even then, though, that kind of feels a bit more like an odd mishmash between, I don't know, like an odd episode layout. At least in Tiny Pop anyway. So, with that being said though, that we only got about 4 days to go until we're actually going to be seeing the finale of Season 6 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic and all that. So we're not going to spoil for the story yet though, because even though we haven't exactly got to watch that yet. And plus, even though, since we're the brownies still, so even then though, that we'll pretty much guarantee that we actually go watch it for ourselves. And then during time though, during next year, among the same years when Sonic Mania will about to be coming out, including Crash Bandicoot HD Trilogy Collection on the PlayStation 4, and, what else is gonna come out in 2017? Pochi and Yoshi's Woolly World for the 3DS, and as well as, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, because thanks to Final Fantasy 15 actually delays that game, which is unfortunate for me. I know you might be thinking that you guys would probably be a biggest fan of Final Fantasy, but honestly, I'm not a hardcore on Final Fantasy though. Although the only time I found Final Fantasy super cool is that it actually introduced them into the during the Kingdom Hearts games. Most likely, Cloud is the most famous character in the entire Final Fantasy franchise, excluding Final Fantasy 7. Anyway, so as you can see right there, we actually got ourselves a 3rd and final star coin, but that's not just that, we also have ourselves a secret exit to found, which we actually did found just about at the moment right here. So yeah, I think that will actually wrap things up for the secret exit on that level, but we're gonna go back in here for one final time until we actually get ourselves a regular normal exit. But for now though, let's see what this secret exit will actually just lead us to. And I believe this will actually lead you to a giant shortcut to the castle. Oh yeah, the Koopaling fight we're about to be dealing with in Meringue Clouds will have to be Ludwig von Koopa, just like World 5 in New Super Mario Bros. 2, and World 7 from New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I mean, yeah, you get used to it at this point. So, it's pretty clear at this point that they always put in Ludwig von Koopa, always been in last, because even though that he was supposed to be the leader of the Koopalings, I'm assuming. But even then, though, that we only have like, you know, one more Koopaling battle to deal with from now. And after Ludwig von Koopa, then we can actually ended up reaching to the ending point of the game to we actually fight against with Bowser because he's responsible for this whole entire mess. And also Bowser Jr. as well, because he might occasionally just pops up, even though he will come back eventually. So, yeah, that's far we can actually just notice. Just saying. So yeah, not much else we can talk about today, although we will talk more into some of this stuff until tomorrow or even a day afterwards. But even then, that we actually had a pretty good time on nonetheless. Yeah, but until then though, we can't wait until the Season 7 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic will be released until next year. In this case, 2017. I'm pretty sure Season 7 will have to be the final season of the entire show before they're trying to make the actual movie of the My Little Pony movie. But even then though, they're still practically going to be in development at the moment, but I digress. Alright, so now we need to actually head to this door right here, because this is the way we actually go ahead and just actually find ourselves the normal regular exit. So, as far as a result from that, we also have to dodge those plenty of fake question mark blocks coming from above, in this case underneath it. And sometimes I found myself getting hit twice, because sometimes though it can be a bit of a nerve-wracking side of things, especially the placement of these things. And also, judging by the fact that since we're actually getting closer all the way down, this means there's going to be a big boo underneath it. So we're just going to have to, like, look at him and see if he doesn't actually go ahead and get us. And, yeah, that's all I can just imagine. So, yeah, you probably got a good idea for, yeah, I forgot. Okay, so we just have to let these, fake question mark blocks until they're gone. Oh, dang it, I was 1 second off by going to Lucky Sevens until we get ourselves a acorn mushroom. But there you go, though, folks. That is all of the ghost house levels in New Super Mario Bros. U. But even though no, he has the exact same amount of the ghost house levels, just like the original New Super Mario Bros. On the DS, including New Super Mario Bros. Wii. But New Super Mario Bros. 2, however, has plenty of ghost houses. So anyways, we're going to have to end things off here. So next time, we'll let's play New Super Mario Bros. U. So now we're going to be finishing up with Meringue Clouds. So even then, we can actually kick Ludwig von Koopa's butt. So see you guys then. Later, fellas.